And we're live. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Thank you for coming over to the DFS 5-pack for the 15th of June. We got ourselves the biggest slate of the year, tied with a bunch of other ones, but we got a full 15 games. And before we even get into our pitcher of the day, ugliest pitching options I can ever remember for a 15-game slate. You should have better options than this.
Seriously, no aces on the hill at all tonight. Just unfortunate with the weather, turning and it's summertime. Expect some offense tonight.
Well, there is one ace, and he plays in Coors.
That's true.
So, I mean, the one guy that we lean on is Darvish, and he's a guy in Coors Field tonight. So it's ugly for 15 games, man. You're right. Weather is popping hot all over the place. There should be some offense on this one.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, we got a few offenses we like. Hard not to like at least a few offense today, given the pitching options, of course. But let's run through it and see what we end up with.
Let's get it.
All right, guys. So today's show is brought to you by our good friends at Drafters. Congrats to Joey Sikora with the big win last night. I think you got second, if I remember correctly, but he kind of wiped the floor with us, especially me, who finished in a dead last place on this one. But we'll try to run it again this afternoon if anybody wants to come do an MLB daily snake draft with us. The good people at Drafters have the website for it. So the promo code is DFS 5-pack, whether you use it or not. Apply for membership at the Facebook group below, and I will get you some approval.
And if you're going to sign up, please use it.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt anybody. Why? We'd appreciate it. From us to you guys, it would sincerely mean a lot.
That's all it is.
Monthly, weekly memberships available at the website. Sub to the channel if you're new to it. So pitching, as we've alluded to, is not great on this one. So we're looking at Mike Minor. Not that this is going to make you feel great, because he's a little bit pricey for what his potential upside might be, in my opinion, just a little bit. He does get the Tigers today, and even though they've had some nice moments lately, we know they're one of the worst teams in baseball. He's been consistently consistent. Double digits in 8 of 10. The pitching options are not great today, so you got to find some guys that you feel comfortable with both their floor and their ceiling. You got to like the matchup. Again, not a slam dunk lock of locks or anything like that, but I give the wily veteran some credit here to cut up less than stellar Detroit Tigers team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Tigers aren't good. They've been better recently, and Mike Minor's not the number one, type of guy. He's not a guy that, we feel that great with because it's Mike Minor. That said, the options are weak tonight. He's coming off his best start of the season. He's been really good in 3 out of 4. Still probably the best matchup on the slate, and he just works on this particular slate. He's going to get love. Not so much love where you have to play him in cash games and where you have to fade him in tournaments. He's just going to get owned, and for good reason.
All right, next up, let's talk offense. So I did not play the Padres last night, and that was the move. Now, I didn't really do much damage myself, so that didn't really matter. But today's slate's going to work out a lot like last night's. And what we mean by that is the Padres are going to be chalk. They are in Coors Field. They're a very good offense, and they're taking on Chichi Gonzalez, which, again, we try not to be too mean to people on the show, but he's not a very good pitcher. Everybody knows that you're sneaking up with literally nobody when you play the San Diego Padres today. So Trent Grisham at 4,400 is going to be wild, crazy, insane chalk. Look for him to be at least 50% owned in cash games, at least 30% in tournaments. So if you want to fade him in GPP, it's a great ownership play. Doesn't mean it's going to be the right move because he could easily hit a home run tonight. He could easily hit 2 home runs tonight. It's a good matchup in a good ballpark. Just know that the Padres, as a squad, are going to be chalk, chalk, chalk. So do with that what you will, but if I'm making a cash line, I'm absolutely playing Trent Grisham.
Yeah, you have to play Grisham in cash games. Projected to be the highest or one of the highest hitters on the slate, and he just makes too much sense. Chichi is no good. San Diego's in a crush spot again. Fade them at your own risk in tournaments.
Next up, so today's cover boy, we're going to go way back into the time machine and talk about the former MVP from a long time ago. But over the last 5 days, he's playing like this year's MVP. Joey Votto looks really good at the plate right now. He's traditionally killed my Milwaukee Brewers throughout his career. That's a long career of doing this. He will get no love today, lefty on lefty. And this is a guy just locked in right now with 80 DK points over his past 5 games.
Yeah, he's locked in. I mentioned it yesterday. He was seeing the ball really well. Proceeded to homer last night late. He's seen a bunch of lefties lately, and he's been really good, a bunch. He's not going to get much love at 4,500 in a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Great ballpark, great history. There's a ton to like about Votto here, and he's right in the middle of a Cincy stack. I have quite a bit of interest in on this slate.
For sure. So the Brewers' starting pitching staff is not usually a place you go because they line up brand new Woodruff, Freddie Peralta, and Corbin Burns, and these are all guys that you don't really want to pick on. That ain't today, though. It's Brett Anderson. It is the weak link of the Milwaukee pitching staff, and they're just in a really, really good spot right here to go under the radar. You've got guys like Votto. There's a bunch of other guys on the Reds that you're at least a little bit interested in, and I can completely understand every single piece of them. Not just a hot hitter, but a hot offense right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, let's talk about Ozzie Albies of the Atlanta Braves. So I got the Braves as another kind of like, and we say this knowing that anybody that's not San Diego is a little bit of a sleeper tonight. They are going to eat the lion's share of the ownership, and then for the rest of the percentage, it's going to be dispersed among the other, 29 teams. I like the Atlanta Braves a little bit. Now, Erod is a guy that I respect, but something's going on here, and we've talked about a couple things recently: the sticky substance, lack of spin rate, injuries maybe. I don't know what's wrong with Erod, so I don't want to pretend to tell you guys that I know the issues. But over the past 5 or 6 starts, he has been getting just absolutely demolished like a really, really bad pitcher. He has Matt Harvey numbers over the last month plus. So I am a little interested in the Atlanta Braves today to go come in under the radar. And Ozzie Albies at 3,900 is a guy who's always been really good against left-handed pitching. He hits over a little bit of power. He's got some speed, so he does the thing DK rewards. And also, if you're playing cash games tonight, the Padres got a bunch of guys you're interested in. But their second baseman, Cronenworth, he's probably not going to be your top priority. So I think Albies is also a natural slide in right there. And from a GPP perspective, they're just not going to be owned as high as they should because there's 29 other teams to choose from, including a top offense in baseball Padres team in Coors Field.
Yeah, so Albies looks great here. Too cheap at 3,900. I like him in all formats. So he's just in a really good spot at this price point. He looks like one of the better value hitters on the slate.
All right, last up, Randy Arozarena, last year's kind of World Series sensation. Seeing the ball really well right now.
Seeing the ball really well. Got a price decrease. I was expecting him to be close to 6K because we've seen that a bunch recently. 5,100, not like he's cheap, but not crazy expensive. Really low own. Keuchel's not a guy I want to stack against, but I don't mind picking a bat or two against him. We saw last year when Arozarena gets hot, he gets real hot. And he looks like he's about to pop off. 20 plus and 3 or 4, big time power and speed upside. The more I talk about this, the more I like Arozarena.
He's a good player. And he's, again, 5,100 is not cheap, but it's affordable. And I do enjoy the fact that DK is pricing some guys up now. So they're making you make decisions. I felt like for too much of the season, you could play good pitching and good hitters. I like when you have to make decisions on how you make your lineup, that you got to play some bad guys in your lineup, and not everybody is super, super cheap. So by his standards, I mean, he's, affordable. There's a bunch of guys over 6K today.
For sure, on all that.
So that's good for today, guys. We'll talk to you all about some sports battle a little bit later. Hopefully get into draft. Best of luck on your MLB stuff tonight. And we got no NBA slate because it's just one game, so it's just showdown. And get after it.
Thanks, guys.